All right, welcome back. This is part 3 of the 6-part video series on how to manage your hold harmless paperwork when you need to move large pieces of furniture, fridges, pianos, things like that from customers. So if you missed parts 1 and 2, you can find them in the playlist down below. If you're following along, we'll just continue on through this process. So this next part is building out the fill out form that you're going to need. And so let's dive right into that and we can get going with the fill out form tool. All right, the next part of this is going to be creating the form that is going to allow a user or the crew leader to fill out a hold harmless or fill out the details for the hold harmless form and then enter it into this hold harmless table. So we're going to use a tool called Fillout for this. And it's a super handy tool. I'll show you what this looks like. Once you are inside of Fillout, you can create a new form. I'm going to use one or duplicate one from this new job leader AWO. And I'm going to rename this new hold harmless form and continue. And then when I go in here to open it up, you can see that I can just call this hold harmless or hold harmless. And then the project is going to be, the default value will be the project record ID, which is going to come from Airtable. This one we're going to say, we can delete that. We won't need that. We won't need amount. And we won't need this. So all they're going to have to do is say hold harmless. Actually, let's go back to what they had here. So here we're going to say, describe the action we are doing for the homeowner. Action described, e.g. Okay, and then the other one would be physical signed, hold harmless document. And this would be if they're working with a homeowner that doesn't have internet or email, they could have a physical one signed and handed to them. So this would be, we want to first make sure that we're connected to the right table. So we want to disconnect from that and refresh. And we are going to connect to let's go to integrations, synced to, we want to edit this and we want to create a record, not in the AWO table, but, so we have to disconnect it first. So we're going to first say disconnect, Airtable, we want to do ACP, and the base is project management. The table that we want to connect to is the hold harmless table. And so we're going to create a record in the hold harmless, and the mappings we're going to use, actually we'll do that inside the form. So I finished setup here, go back to edit. So project, we are going to map to the project table. And then the describe action here, we want to connect to description of action. And then for this one, we want to connect it to the signed agreement. So those are the 3 fields that we need. And then the last thing here, when we click publish, it gives us a link here. And so we want to copy this. And we also want to make sure that there are URL parameters that are included in this. So project record ID is one that we're going to need. So what that means is inside here in the projects table, we are going to add a new column that is called hold harmless form URL. And this can be a button. And then the URL is going to be this. So I'll put this in quotes. And then I want to do the and sign. And this is where we want to put in the, how do they have that written there? Project record ID, all lowercase with dashes. So we're going to do and project underscore record underscore ID. And then the equal sign with another and we're going to say record ID. So this is going to be the record ID of the project and create. So now, whoops. create field. And so now we have this. Oh, we should rename this to say label would be generate hold harmless form. And we're going to make this. Okay, so now we have that. So what's going to happen if I go to Chris Kiefer, once again, we'll just pick someone here. So when I click this, it looks like I forgot to publish. Oh, we need to put a question mark. That's the issue. So I put a question mark there. Now when I click this, it opens up project record ID, automatically fills in Shoemaker. This is a test and submit. So that is the fill out form that you're going to need. In the next video, we are going to dive into the automation that's actually going to generate the e-signature document and send it to the customer. So we'll dive into that in part 4 of this 6-part video series.